Hi guys, it's Gola Lamutams, also known as Gelawapa Z, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you will be notified that Gelawapa Z posts a video. Thank you so much for more than 72,900 subscribers. I am so grateful that you guys keep on coming to my YouTube channel. Na totela san. I know we'll be hitting 73,000 by tomorrow. I'm so grateful. In this video, I'm here to talk about the Chinese again in Nigeria. We've spoken about the Chinese in Africa and how they've mistreated people, particularly say in Zambia, where I come from, Nigeria, Kenya, and other parts of Africa. But this time, despite them, looking at what is happening in the news in China itself, where Africans are being left in the streets and they're being neglected even in hospitals and they're not being given the proper care. I thought maybe there would be a change with what's going on until this video has surfaced on social media. Now, it's a challenge when you keep on seeing these things going on in Africa, when people keep on being mistreated, our fellow African people being mistreated, and our leaders keep on embracing these so-called investors that come into our countries. Before I go any further, watch this video and then I will make my commentary. Watch this.
It's like let the work. Me, I know my work will be at least, but I don't mind. Let me go for some people. See this one. In the sea. Come on, go back to us. Come back. They got this money that he came back late. 8 minutes. They say if you can go, you cannot go. Somebody is going out, you will send the person to buy something for you. This guy bought pure water. They cut his money that he got something for somebody. How what did they want us to do? My sister, everybody will come in. You have to stop for the window and touch the person. You cannot come out.
They locked you up in this house since February. Wow.
Since February we are here.
And they are not even giving us food, myself.
They've not given you food?
Nothing, even bonus, nothing. They don't give us anything. Apart from your salary, they can't give you anything.
And even the salary, they will be cutting it. Then we don't do small things.
The policeman, the China is dragging.
Okay, so you have seen the video. This is what was going on in Nigeria. For the past 4 months, according to what you've heard, the workers of this Chinese couple were kept under lockdown because of COVID-19. Now, the Chinese are very great at PPE equipment. They manufacture, the largest masks in the world and you name it. Why can they supply these PPE to their workers for them to be commuting from home? And the sad part is that the workers were left to eat nothing. And these guys are working so hard in order for them to feed their families, and their salaries are, wishy-washy. And I just also want to add this about Zambia. And this is what we've seen in Zambia, where a lot of Zambians, they embrace foreigners because they feel without the foreigners, we are nothing. And yet Africa can be great without any foreign investors. It's just that people don't have obviously the capital and the empowerment from the government. But if those opportunities are made available through taxpayers' money, of course, we would have loads of Zambians being investors in their own countries, in their own country. Now, somebody who is a fitness instructor posted this on social media, and he said he would rather an investor comes in with $50,000 into Zambia and uses that to hire 30 Zambians. Well, in the UK, for you to be an investor, you need £250,000 before you can come into the country. So 50,000 is cheap. It just shows you our level of thinking, where somebody will be saying, if they can come in here and invest and employ 30 people. Now, let me break this down. If an investor comes into Zambia and he is employing Zambians to do whatever job, our government has not put any national minimum wage. So that investor can even hire 30 people and pay them 600 kwacha. But if somebody, a Zambian, is building a house or building houses or flats, that person will hire an architect and a plumber, a builder, and these people will be given their monies according to the job they do. So who is a better investor here? A Zambian who is building his flats, or an investor who comes in with 50,000 and decides when to pay people? We need to think outside the box and not limit ourselves to, oh, we only need investors to come into our country. That's when we can do better things. We don't need investors. What we need is empowerment and working together. Cooperatives are very good, where you and me can form a business and hire people. But the thing is, when we have Africans or Zambians who want to work by themselves, I want to have this business, I want to have that business, it's a challenge. Most investors that come into our countries, our African countries, don't come by themselves. They come as groups and they put money together, whether it's $1,000 each, and at the end of the day, they make sure that that money is pushed forward, and they keep on working together, building their business until their business is established. Their children take over the businesses. Their great-grandchildren also take over their businesses. So when I saw this post from Makungo, I was shocked. I was like, why would you prefer a foreign investor over a Zambian, when a Zambian will hire the fellow Zambians to build a house? Remember, this is not the 48 miracle houses that were built in Zambia, where we don't even know who the owner is. Well, our government needs to answer to that soon. So these people that decide to build flats in Zambia is for their family benefit, of course. But at the end of the day, they still recruit people that will clean their premises, that will look after their, electricity, wiring and everything. And will you bring somebody from China to come and do your wiring? Of course not. You will hire a Zambian. Will you hire a bricklayer from China to come and do your bricks? No. You will hire fellow Zambians. And with what's going on in Nigeria, of these Chinese people treating people anyhow, let me just say in Africa, keeping them under lockdown using COVID-19, it's a shock. I mean, if you are worried about the welfare of your employees, you should first of all, as a Chinese investor, be checking their temperature. You should be checking their health, feed them well, make sure they have the best equipment when they are working, and even when they are leaving the premises, you can check their temperature in and out. And if you are also worried about them bringing COVID-19 into your premises, why not move them to your premises, not by force, but willingly with their families, and then explain to them this is the reason, but pay them well. Pay them well, good money, because you can't keep people who have families in your premises for 4 months without even paying them or giving them food, and then give them proper food. These are the investors of Africa that our Zambian person is even crying for, to say, I would rather an investor would come to our country so that this investor can hire 30 people and lock them up for 4 months. You call that investment? And with Zambia, where we don't even have a national minimum wage, with our labor minister who is so lazy, I don't even know her job occupation. I think she needs to be fired. She needs to step down. I don't even understand her role in our country. So I thought I should bring this to your light, that look, this is what is happening in Nigeria. We are one Africa. What affects Nigeria affects all of us, because in as much as it's happening in Nigeria, it's happening in Zambia. We've seen Mao Sampa going to premises of the cement factories. I'll put the videos down below. Going to premises of mines as well, where Zambians were being kept in small cabins, squeezing each other when they were sleeping there. And at the end of the day, they were told to keep on staying there because of COVID-19. And when Mao Sampa acted, the government was against him. And we saw Charles Banda issue statements on ZNBC saying that Mao Sampa should apologize. Why would he do such a thing, including Joyce Nonde, who is a labor minister? So in as much as we are trying by all means to change things, some of the people in our African countries, their mindset is not as good as we hope for the best in Africa. And this is what we want to say to our leaders. And I'm going to say this. If you want Africa to be great, it starts with leadership. And the leadership in Africa at the moment is compromised. Very few of them are doing well, like Magufuli, who's even been told by the world economists that Tanzania at the moment is in the middle class economy compared to where it was, which is the poor country's economy in Africa. And it's a good thing when you see that certain countries in Africa are doing well, but we can do better. There's no way we can have independence for more than 50-something years, and all we do is rely on investors from outside, and all we do is we can't even manage our own resources, natural resources in Africa, and all we do is rely on other people to come and help us to dig our gold, our oil, our minerals, whatever we have, and then they make it refined and then sell it to us. For how long should we be daft? For how long are we going to wait for people to help us to do the things that can help our countries? So we need leadership that thinks of the people of Africa, that wants to see Africa great again. We can be one Africa, united Africa, have one currency. Like Julius Malema says, that, that's where the beginning of a revolution of seeing change in Africa can start from. If we ourselves as Africans see ourselves as one body and empower ourselves, those who have oil, we import from them. Those who have cocoa, we import from them. And those who have food, like our country, Zambia, is very fertile agriculture-wise. We export to other countries. We trade among them ourselves. If we are trading among ourselves as Africans, we will make Africa richer. But the mindset of whoever is in leadership is all about how they're going to make themselves richer and put money in Swiss accounts, buy flats or houses in London or Dubai, instead of thinking of the future of Africa. So as long as we don't have leadership that thinks about the African people, this problem will carry on, and all we'll do is complain and complain and complain and complain. So about Zambia, you know that we have been complaining about the issues of non-freedom of speech. When you speak about what is happening in Zambia, you are told you shouldn't be talking about these things or you are silenced. This is a time for us Zambians to change Zambia as well by changing leadership in order for things to change, and also putting sanctions to whoever comes in leadership. So look, if you want to be a leader next, you have to have at least 60% of the youths in employment, and you have to have at least, even in parliament, the youth of Zambia, who are the future of Zambia, and not having old people in leadership. And you see, this is why we keep on having these problems, because old leaders who keep on crying for leadership don't have time. What time do they have to come and talk to us about the economy and things that are happening? So they will just be simply signing signatures. Yes, 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 give contract this one, give visa to this one, because they don't have time. We've seen our current vice president of Zambia, Madam Inonge Wina. She was last active on her Facebook like page. This is her page. In 2016 when she was campaigning for elections. Now this is the vice president of Zambia. Isn't she supposed to be active enough? Isn't she supposed to be talking about the things that are happening in Zambia? No, she has won the election, so she will sit back and relax and wait for her paycheck every month and just sign signatures of whichever Chinese wants a contract in Zambia. This is what is going on. You've never heard me talk about the vice president has said this or that or that, except she just came out a few days ago saying she wants us to endorse Bill 10. Now, Bill 10 is a bill that they want to bring into Zambia, which will allow the current government to stay on for the next 10 years because they have a contract with the Chinese. So they don't want that contract to end. And even the Chinese themselves, they've come up to say, if you accept Bill 10, we will lower the interest of the loans. Like, really? Why would the Chinese be speaking over the national affairs of our country, Zambia? It's because they know they have a share. They have something to benefit from Zambia. That is why they are saying all these things. So be a wise voter in whatever country you are. And as for Zambians, you know that our elections are next year, 2021. Vote wisely. Don't allow anybody to intimidate you. Speak for yourself. Speak one voice. And remember, we are speaking about unity and love, and we are saying no to intimidation, and also saying we don't want foreign investors that come to our countries and treat us like this. You've seen how these people are treating, Chinese people are treating the workers in Nigeria, and you've seen videos on my YouTube channel as well of how Chinese investors are treating Zambian workers. That's not what we want in our countries. With that, guys, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. It's Matams, also known as Gelo Wapazet. See you on my next video. I love you guys. I will now leave you with a song from some Ugandan kids that sang the song many years back, over 10 years ago. It talks about freedom. For so many years, we've wanted freedom as Africans. And this is the message that we keep on sending. We want freedom. Freedom from even the leadership that we have. We need leaders that think of the African people instead of enslaving them to even like the Chinese and other foreign investors. Listen to this song. It's a song of pure love and unity of Africans and how we need peace and freedom. Listen to this.